appreciate all that women have done in bridging the gender gap for the girl child in Tibet, in technical technology-based education. So thank you so much. We want to welcome you all. Once again, you are welcome to the first citadel of learning in Nigeria. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very much. At this point, I would like to introduce the National Coordinator, Princess Lady Regina Ide, Chairman of PhD, to give us a welcome address. You're welcome.
Thank you very much. Already established protocol. I would like to recognize our morning programs. The first tweeted coordinator ABIODUN Thank you. And I would like to start. The welcome address by the National Coordinator of Women in Technical Education and Employment in Nigeria at the opening ceremony of the first high-level conference being held at Sierra College of Technology on 22nd December 2020. Very distinguished guests and friends of the meeting is already. It is with great delight that I welcome all of you to yet another event of WITEC. Here, WITEC is performing a sense of establishment, doing what they know best to do. I put make it happen. As I tarry. There is no doubt that the women who are naturally endowed with intellectual capacity and uncommon inspiration to bring out the best in an environment if given the opportunity. Educate a woman. You educate a nation and it's not just for a saying, but a fact. Napoleon said, and I quote, give me good mothers and I will give you a good nation. Quote. For sure, with winter activities in Yabatech, courtesy of our God-fearing Yabatech director, Engineer Obafemi he is getting a piece of the action together with other rectors in Nigeria. Women in technical education and employment with this valuable project since 1988 by the Commonwealth Association of Polytechnics in Africa, now known as Commonwealth Association of Technical Universities and Polytechnics in Africa. WITEC was designed to assist in Africa's sister institutions with the mandate to identify and tackle the factors which inhibit significant participation of girl child in mathematics, science, and technical education. The Committee of Rectors of Polytechnic College in Nigeria, in their efforts to ensure actualization of WITEC objectives, established WITEC National Coordinating Committee, that's WITEC NCC. This was formally inaugurated in Abuja on 22nd October 1997 by the then head of state, General Sani Abacha, with the senior rector, Chief Mrs. Felicia A. of Blessed Memory, the former rector of Yaba Lagos. She was the first co-created chairperson.
Somebody has joined.
And she also served as the Western Regional Chairperson that is coordinated for West Africa. Engineer I. Oluweso served as the national coordinator, with now Mrs. J.O. Owosho as the national secretary there between 1995 to 2002. You can see what the Yabate coordinator for Wute was talking about. Yabate takes the lead in women education, and I feel the main aim of the process is to enhance the participation of women in technical education at all levels. Hence, WITED is sponsored by the coaches and it is their lecture. Everything about WITED is sponsored by every resource and institution. As I stand here today, and the is still standing as the headquarters of Nigeria, my network is responsible.
When she wants to start, come here.
I know he is here, but and I know
she will not be anymore. She will be jumping.
today's conference and other activities being organized by Yabate Committee is giving credence to WITED establishment and a thumb up for the conference. Permit me to submit this great audience that by the grace of Almighty God and through the support of a committed and purposeful academy, the rector of this citadel of learning, Dr. Femi, a lot has been achieved by WITED Yabate. These days, actualization is a reflection of the collective efforts of the rector-led management and the members of WITED in this institution, led by the chapter coordinator, Dr. Mrs. Obola N.O. Lord, I appreciate you and your executive for your constant participation in all WITED activities, especially for taking this giant stride to organize the first calibre conference and the momentum of our first WITED conference chairperson, Chief F.A. Oluweso, in the WITED House of Building in Yabate. I don't know how to thank WITED, the rector, the management, and members of WITED of Yabate for this stellar honor you've done to WITED Nigeria. And I ask God to bless you while our mother do also continue to rest in peace. Thank you so much. I salute you, Dr. Loretta Nwaneka Ofodele, the WITED NCC member, a national executive of WITED Nigeria. I I thank you so much for continuing to guide and protect me here in Yabate. Our hard-working amiable zonal coordinator, my beloved Dr. Mrs. Victoria Roche, who is here present. I thank you for your guidance, your contribution to make sure that the weekend objectivity comes to light.
I can't see anybody's phone.
To our distinguished guests, I welcome you to this special occasion to ensure the solution gender parity challenges through disseminating knowledge and information in this timely conference with the theme Gender and Sustainable Development Goals in Africa, Challenges and Progress. The mother of the day, Your Excellency, Dr. Mrs. I. Samuel, who is ably represented. I thank you for sending your representative there. A bar of policies is required for actualization. Please. The wife of the deputy governor, every representative, please always be there for retail, Yabate, and the nation. The secretary
Professor Edeka send us test where
who will be there or who is already here with us in Canada, we appreciate. The lead paper presenter, we say thanks for accepting us. Our distinguished guests of all, Mrs. Jacket, we thank you so much, and we say please always incorporate us in your programs. Your presence here today added value to the existence of the meeting, and it's a testimony that establishment of meeting is being you have made our journey. I pray you continue to encourage us as great movement of record. I know Ilaro is here. Akanibian Federal Polytechnic, Uwana is here. Nekede is here. Lasetek is here. And lots of others. And some of our executive in National Witted. I say thanks for doing the needful. And thank you all for coming. God bless.
A round of applause for the National Coordinator, Princess Regina Elechi Amadi. Thank you, Ma.
We have listened to the chairperson LOC. We have listened to the coordinator, Yabatek Witted, and we have listened to the national coordinator Witted. The next logical thing for us to do now is to listen to the chief host, the man who has created the enabling environment for us to gather here today. I want to invite to the podium the rector, Yaba College of Technology, Engineer Obafemi Omokugbe, who is here represented by the Deputy Rector Administration, Dr. Mrs. Ukabam.
Thank you very much. I would like to invite and recognize the presence of Her Excellency, the wife of the Lagos State Governor, being ably represented by Mrs. Abosede Ogundimu. I would like to introduce her now and ask her to please come to the high table. Mrs. Abosede Ogundimu, representing Her Excellency, the First Lady of Lagos State. You're welcome, ma'am. Thank you for your patience. Okay, ma'am.
Good morning, everybody. I'm here standing in for the rector, my rector of Yaba College of Technology, Engineer Obafemi Omokugbe, who has to attend to official assignments at Abuja, and he has asked me to deliver his speech and to welcome everyone. So I will go straight to his speech. Her Excellency, the Lagos State Governor's wife, ably represented. Her Excellency, the Deputy Governor's wife, ably represented. Our lead speaker, presenter, the Registrar Yaba College of Technology, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to the 2020 WITED International Conference with the theme Gender and Sustainable Development Goals in Africa, Challenges and Progress. There's a powerful nexus between gender equality and sustainable development. Sustainable development cannot be achieved in Africa if half of its population of the continent is excluded from development process. Hence, promoting women's effective participation in the management of African resources will contribute to tackling the resource cost towards an equitable, transformative, and sustainable development. Of note is Yabate's contribution to WITED in Nigeria in particular, and even in West Africa. For our previous presenters have highlighted the roles of Yaba College of Tech, the first cradle of higher institution in Nigeria, role in WITED development to date. And to add to that, Yaba College of Tech, both in the academia and non-academic sector, have indeed promoted WITED affairs. We have women at the helms of affairs, and we have women deputy registrars, heads of department, deans of school, directors, deputy rector. These are for the purpose of promoting women effective participation in the management of the college. Yaba takes a role in achieving sustainable development in Africa, and we have taken great action to protect women's rights by launching YCT Yabatek Sexual Harassment and Gender-Based Violence Policy on the 24th of November 2020. Yabatek has constantly unleashed women's potential by encouraging them and also asking philanthropists to support our women education. Like, for example, during the Okoya's celebration of birthday last year, 4 ladies in IME, Industrial Maintenance and Engineering Departments, were sponsored for their HND program. So Yabatek has actually empower women especially indigenous women, ladies in the school, to ensure that they finish and graduate and are empowered appropriately. I believe the deliberation of the team at this conference will provide solutions to the challenges of the linkage between gender equality and sustainable development in Africa. Thank you and God bless you. Engineer Obafemi Omokugbe, Rector, Yaba College of Technology. God bless.
Please let the round of applause be much bigger and higher and lengthier and longer for the chief host who is hosting us today. Thank you very much, Ma. At this point, we're going to see the documentary on WITED and Yabatech as a whole. On WITED and Yabatech as a whole. So we are going to have to do that through the help of the multimedia. Thank you. For our guests here, Ma and sirs, we will make an arrangement where you can just go over to this place so that you can watch from the screen. Thank you.
The African girl child, plagued with hardship and informal education, receives a hand of fellowship to engage in technical education for economic empowerment through Women in Technical Education, WITED. WITED are female teachers who decided to go beyond the call of duty to reach out to the less privileged girls and women in the society. The African girl child, plagued with hardship and informal education, receives a hand of fellowship to engage in technical education for economic empowerment through Women in Technical Education, WITED. WITED are female teachers who decided to go beyond the call of duty to reach out to the less privileged girls and women in the society. They offered them technical skill through relevant education. WITED was designed by CAPA to exist in Africa technical universities, polytechnics, and colleges of technology to address low involvement of the girl child in science and technical education at all levels.
WITED was conceptualized in 1988 by CAPA, which is now known as ATUPA. CAPA is Commonwealth of African Polytechnic, Commonwealth of African Polytechnic.
The African girl child, plagued with hardship and informal education, receives a hand of fellowship to engage in technical education for economic empowerment through Women in Technical Education, WITED. WITED are female teachers who decided to go beyond the call of duty to reach out to the less privileged girls and women in the society. They offered them technical skill through relevant education. WITED was designed by CAPA to exist in Africa technical universities, polytechnics, and colleges of technology to address low involvement of the girl child in science and technical education at all levels.
WITED was conceptualized in 1988 by CAPA, which is now known as ATUPA. CAPA is Commonwealth of African Polytechnic, Commonwealth of African Polytechnic Association, but the name has now been changed to ATUPA. they conceptualized WITED to address the underrepresentation of women in Tibet institutions, in Tibet courses, because women were found to shy away from technology-based courses, science-based courses, and engineering courses.
The objective of WITED is to bridge the gender gap and promote the participation of girls and women in science and technology education for national and regional development.
The goals of WITED, which is the brainchild of CAPA, amongst its numerous objectives include the development of strategies to enhance the participation of women in technical education at all levels for economic empowerment, the development of partnership, collaborations and linkages with WITED international development partners, to advocate for more women participation in all Tibet fields ranging from learning to work environment, to institutionalize affirmative action, training of curricula in institutions of learning and leadership to take place in the world of in order to accommodate industry and gender responsive requirements. The immense benefits of being a member of WITED include the forum where the redesigning of curricula in Tibet institutions could take place in order to accommodate industry and gender responsive requirements.
And non-academic staff. Yabia Odrubeson, the first female rector of Yaba College of Technology, who attended the CAPA meeting in 1988, was mandated to start WITED in Nigeria. The CAPA meeting, and that makes in 1988 the first was mandated to start WITED in Nigeria. And that makes Yabatech
This is the first time having this sort of function or occasion. This is the first time for you to have included this sort of after I have left about 12 years ago, and for you to have included overwhelmed after I have left about 12 years ago. I am overwhelmed, very taken grateful to God, and the way WITED has been very taken aback. The few women, the way WITED has is filled with women. From a few women, now it is waxing stronger. Women, years and almost 20 years. It is waxing stronger. Years. Almost 20 years after it was established. It's a giant. It started on a very loose foot. Because now I get communications from not only Yabatech chapters in Nigeria. Because I get communications from all over the chapters. We glorify in Nigeria for what he has done. Glory to God. He's doing. We thank him, we glorify him, we praise him for what he has done.
Yabatech has continued to set the first national president in Nigeria through the leadership of engineer the first national president of Yabatech chapter, as the first national Yabatech chapter and the first president membership is mandatory for female academic and non-academic staff. In Yabatech chapter, Yabatech management recognized the importance of WITED.
Tutoring kind of that women, if a man becomes director of the college, one of the deputy rectors and also certain percentage of administrative position allocated that women, because we see that WITED members as mothers, and the functions of mother is to foster unity, peace, and peaceful coexistence of both students. Then women are also expected to provide in the actualization of the college. Okay, so we maintain Yabatech, so that we be Yabatech first, still the first, and still the best. So we will expect WITED to collaborate and research beneficial to the college. That will be beneficial to the college and the society. So, and of course, finally, we want WITED to liaise with in securing more favorable working conditions. So, in our own case, this administration will pledge to continually support WITED in all our activities, particularly in our activities role as a role model for the students. So we'll encourage them to mentor these younger ones and encourage them so that they become more passionate in getting involved in technical education.
Past presidents of WITED in Yabatek are Dr. Joko Tade Owosho, Mrs. Hannah Akombi, Dr. Loretta Ofodile, and the incumbent president, Dr. Sheung Pokuola. So far, WITED Yabatek has organized and sensitized women leaders, policymakers, school heads, and career teachers to support girls and women enrollment in science, technology, and technical education. WITED has organized programs to assist career women in TVET to balance work life. In every quarterly meeting, members acquire skills. Some have been trained in production of liquid soap, germicide, and antiseptic. This was also extended to the community through partnership with Rose of Sharon Foundation, chaired by Mrs. Folorunsho Alakija, where widows and orphans were also trained. The chapter also collaborated with South African Agricultural Research Council to train women in hydroponics agriculture. WITED has a building currently known as WITED House. The chapter operates a cooperative society where members can access loans and save towards retirement. Some of the proposed programs of WITED are to set up a daycare center for underaged children of staff and students, and a multi-purpose thrift shop where members can purchase essential household items. The first international conference with the theme Gender and Sustainable Development Goals in Africa, Challenges and Progress was made possible by the local organizing committee ably chaired by Dr. Fumi Doherty.
The theme of the WITED First International Hybrid Conference, year 2020, is Gender and Sustainable Development Goals in Africa, Challenges and Progress. This theme was carefully chosen by the local organizing committee with the understanding that women empowerment has a critical role to play in the actualization of all the 17 SDGs in Africa. Africa cannot make significant progress with the SDGs if half of the population are not empowered, if half of the population do not have access to quality education. Statistics show that women account for over 60% of the world's illiterate. Sustainability cannot be achieved with gender inequality. Studies have found that women in sub-Saharan Africa spend productive hours collecting water, often to the detriment of schooling. This is because women bear the brunt of food, water, and energy provision for their family. Water shortages and deforestation mean that women and girls have to walk longer distances to fetch water and collect firewood. We need to ensure availability and sustainable management of water and sanitation in Africa, which is the SDG 6. The conference will be an avenue for WITED members across Africa to discuss the challenges and progress made in ending gender stereotypes. Since all areas of life relate to gender equality, efforts must be made to cut the roots of gender discrimination wherever they appear. We are using the conference to advocate for end to violence against women, to promote the girl-child education and gender parity. Women must have equal opportunities in building a shared and sustainable future. We hope that at the end of the conference, the voice of WITED will be heard by the relevant stakeholders. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies. I am very pleased to be amongst you today. My name is Idiat Adireme Amusu, a fellow of the Nigerian Society of Engineers. My advice to WITED right now will be, one, that we should conduct a gender audit to find out where exactly is WITED, what has WITED gained in the period that it came into existence, and what is the next step. This is taking advantage of the increase in networking and knowledge of all the professionals in this technical space. I would also want to say that today that the role of science and technology is improving quality of life in more prominence. It is more prominent now for women to be more active and also to contribute their own quota to alleviate poverty and promote sustainable development. It is very important for us, WITED members, to set ourselves together first to reset, to reposition, and to renew. One, to reset the perception of the family influence on the participation of young girls and women in STEM. The second one, which is to reposition, that is to reposition the place of women in STEM and also to contribute to the national development socially, culturally, and technologically through increasing awareness of WITED and their responsibilities, to continue mentoring the younger ones coming in behind and coaching members on how to advance in their different career choice. The third one is to renew the part of women in STEM. To renew the part of women in STEM in order to close the diversity gap by attracting, retraining, and advancing the place of women in the technical educational space. Thank you.
I pray that you will all end well. Because it's not everybody that starts well in Yaba Tech that ends well. And it's not only in Yaba, and it takes the special grace of God to even get to the stage of retiring. You are not kicked out. You didn't die on the job. You didn't end up in jail. It's the glory of God. And I pray it will be the same thing with you.
Thank you very much to the team that puts together the documentary. We wish to implore our dignitaries, our special guests, that the Kappa SG's citation will be read And while that is going on, since it's going to be a virtual event, the picture will still be on, and then her citation will be read. So that we're going into the citation of the Kappa SG, Mrs. Jahufa. This will be taken by the Vice Chairperson of WITED Yabatech Chapter, Ms. Joke Olojede.
Good morning, distinguished women and gentlemen. It's my privilege to present the citation for Madam Jaufal this morning. Madam Jaufal is a Secretary General of the Commonwealth Association of Technical Universities and Polytechnics in Africa, CAPA. Madam Jaufal was born in the Gambia, where she did her primary and secondary education. She holds undergraduate and postgraduate degrees in education from the University of the Gambia and University of Huddersfield, UK, respectively. Her career began as a lecturer at her alma mater, the Gambia Director Academics, to her previous position of Director General, which she assumed in July 2013. Madam Jaufal was appointed CAPA Executive Board Member and Country Representative for the Gambia in 2017. She has been an active member and participated in numerous activities of CAPA, both locally and internationally. The Gambia Technical Training Institute, which Madam Fowl headed as Director General, have been an active member of CAPA for numerous years. It is the Gambia's premier TVET institution, established in 1980, and has since taken the lead in the promotion of TVET in the Gambia. During her tenure as head, the institution has decentralized its activities to cater for the mushrooming rural population by opening rural centers in growth areas. The government of the Gambia, having recognized the importance of TVET and the role played by GTTI, have endorsed the upgrading of the institute to a technical university. Madam Farr played a pivotal role in this transformation. She was a member of the National Examination Committee and the International Examination Committee for the West African Examination Council, WAEC. The committee advises on the development of examinations, aptitude tests, and research in the Gambia and member countries. She has served as a governing council member at the National Accreditation and Quality Assurance Authority, responsible for setting national standards and monitoring core performance to requirements by all tertiary and higher educational institutions in the Gambia. She is married to Honorable Samba Fall and blessed with children. Madam Fall has traveled widely and attended numerous conferences as a participant and as a resource person. She is a passionate champion for TVET in forums both nationally and internationally. Please welcome our keynote speaker's address. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chairperson, for the detailed introductory statement of my career. I will say that I am humbled by the presence of dignitaries, TVET practitioners, and experts who are sharing this platform with me. Chairperson,
distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen, all other protocols observed, I bring special greetings to you from my home country, the Gambia, the smiling coast of Africa. The reality
Good morning. Warm greetings from the